Alright, so every year I like to play through the NES version of Metroid on Easter, as back in 1987 I had gotten Metroid for a Easter present, and it's just been a tradition over the years. This year I thought I'd try something a little different, and I'm going to play a version of Metroid that I made myself about, I want to say about 15 years ago. I wanted to make the original Metroid a little easier because I had some friends who had complained that the game was too hard for them. So, I haven't played through this in over 10 years, so this one might be kind of fun. So, I didn't really do too many hacks on the title screen or anything, but you'll notice right away I made some little graphical changes. So, the game is fundamentally the same, it's just I made stuff a little easier. Although I did remember causing a few problems here and there, where some spots were actually a little harder, so. Again, most of the areas are similar. Like I made it so Kraid's a lot easier to find. You can actually go there right away and fight him if you're suicidal. Because you'll need some missiles and energy tanks to get down there anyway. So, we're going to follow the standard path through the game. But again, some spots I made super easy, like right here. This energy tank you can just pick up right away. Like some areas that I felt didn't really need any tweaking, like this one, is exactly the same. Oops. Yeah, don't do that. Go here. So it's kind of weird starting with the energy tank, because I'm so used to having to be real careful with my life at the beginning of the game, because I don't want to spend time harvesting. But having that extra energy tank there, I can make mistakes, which, you just saw. So anyway, go up here. Most fun part of the game, climbing up these long shafts. But it'll certainly take it over that awful remake on the Game Boy Advance, where they just added a whole bunch of speed booster rooms and just weird stuff that just really bogged the game down. Let's see, these are pretty similar. Let's go over here, get the missiles. So we can get bombs. I even made this spot easier. Some of this stuff is almost new to me because it's been, a decade since I played this hack. I don't even remember the name of the program I used for it, but it was pretty simple because you actually had a graphic interface and you could actually just move stuff around. Because Metroid has a very compressed way the levels are made, which is why if you're super familiar with Metroid, you'll notice there's a lot of rooms, or screens more importantly, that repeat themselves. So if you're editing it, you can only edit so many of the rooms. Zelda's very similar. So if you edit one room, it edits that room later in the level, so you have to be real careful that you don't end up breaking the game. And if I remember correctly, there were objects that you could modify, like these large platforms. So like I made this room easier, so you could conceivably get yourself stuck down there a lot faster. I was hoping to make this area easier. I inadvertently made that first room a little harder because there's that really tough jump. Now a cool thing you can do here, you can get the ice beam a little earlier. because you don't need bombs now to go down into that room. Here. I like that ice beam early. Yay! But now I have to do the, the usual and harvest. Which this room is not the best for harvesting because it's shorter and there's not as many Rios. And, amusingly enough, you don't have bombs yet, so you can't fight those guys as easily. Feels like these enemies are feeling a little shy about dropping missiles today, so that's always nice. Oh, there's some. Here and again. Oh, I just realized I might be stuck. Let's see if I can fix this. There we go. So, like I said, I inadvertently made some puzzles that shouldn't be there, because if I had not had the ice beam in there, I would have been stuck. So, hooray for that. Okay, this energy tank. Sometimes a Rio is going to appear up here, but if he does, he's, not going to be very happy. Should be fighting some of these enemies for missiles. Come on, guys. Don't be shy. Alright, there's 4. It's probably a better harvesting route for missiles than doing it, get bombs, then get ice beam. Just because there's more enemies to fight and it's on the way. Oh, alright, so we're good. There's 5. Now, for the rest of the game, I won't have to really worry about missiles. Who's gonna make it? Yep, he did. Oh. Yeah, don't let it happen. Alright. And now, we got the bombs. So harvesting these guys will be a little easier. Not that we have to, but I normally don't get the Varia because you just don't need it, but I'm kind of curious to what I had done to that room. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little longer run through the game and just pick up the Varia just to see. I'm not doing a speed run or anything here, but I'm not going to get everything because I feel like the wave beam is just a complete waste. It's funny also seeing the enemies' patterns getting a little confused because they're not used to the level layout. And when the game was originally designed, the ceilings and the platforms were in a very specific format. That's funny. Let's put this little guy out of his misery. Uh-oh. Another spot you can get stuck here. If you don't have the ice beam. So don't do that. And there's a whole lot more waivers following me around because they don't get stuck in the ceiling like they do in the normal version of the game. So here. I kind of wish I still had the access to the old editor I used, just so I can fix a few of the little things like that area and move those platforms down a tiny bit. But kind of adds to the charm, because I remember actually getting stuck there once, way back when. Yeah, don't do that. Alright. Now we're back here. Now normally I'd go straight to Norfair and not look back, but we're just gonna, just for fun, gonna climb back up here. Well, not back up here, but climb up here so we can go get Bavaria and see what shenanigans I did in that room. I left it green. I know I was fiddling with the color palette a little in some rooms. Let's just take a second here. There we go. Alright. Alright, so I removed the barrier here where you have to have bombs to get in this room. So that's interesting. Let's see if these are all messed up still too. Now normally you want to go into the second tube. Oh, I fixed even that. Alright, Varia room. Look at that. Made it very obvious that there's something up here. Oh, and put a little platform here. So you don't have to do anything special to get Bavaria. These guys. It's been a long time since I've actually bothered to get it. See if they don't bounce me back again. There we go, we got Bavaria. So now we're even more invincible. But we're out of missiles, so. Oh, there we go. Harvest these guys just on the way. And they literally line right up with my blaster, so I'd feel wrong not finishing them off. Alright, so I may as well pick up the energy tank and the missile while I'm up here. I didn't do much into this corridor. Of course, all of these are going to be fixed. Because it uses that same structure. Huh, convenient. Oop. Alright, that's neat. Notice the Rio stuck on the top there. No way to get him out. Poor guy. Got the energy tank, and it's actually faster to go this way. Rio's also showing us where the secret passage should be. That's kind of him. Alright. Ow. Stop it. Yeah, I'm probably going to get hit in the door by him. Okay, didn't get stuck in that wall. Again, normally this area is way out of the way, and the rewards are not really worth it when you're trying to play through the game really fast. Because by this point, you shouldn't be worried about dying, so the Varia is not much use. And there's already 6 energy tanks on the way, so you don't really need the energy tank. The missile's helpful, but again, a lot of time wasted in there. Just gonna fall down there. now we're going to continue on our path through Northfire. Oh, we have a little less time to harvest because I have that extra missile. You know, if an enemy would ever consider dropping a missile. Oh, there we go. Pro tip, don't dodge power-ups unless you're full. That's just bad video gaming. Alright, so we should be ready for Northfire. And we're going to do my normal route and not pick up all the extra energy containers. Or, missiles, rather. We like energy tanks. Alright. Looks like I did some weird stuff in Northfire, too. Okay. Not sure why I did that, but okay. I gotta get by this Garunta. I don't really need anything, so we're just going to let him be. 3 Novas on one platform, okay. I don't recall you being able to modify enemy patterns. Or where they, not patterns rather, but where they spawn. So I'm not sure how those 3 got stuck on that platform like that. But we'll just go with it. Again, there's plenty of missiles I could get, but we're just going to go fast-ish. Go over here. Go in this room, pick up some of the better power-ups. And since I have 10 missiles, I can go right for the screw attack after. Ooh, look at that extra platform. Alright. Made it quite obvious that there's something down there. Perfect fit. Again, this area has a lot more to offer than what I'm actually going for. But I really find the screw attack is really the only thing that you're going to want in here. Unless you're really low on missiles. I mean, 5 is plenty, right? Again, got plenty of missiles. Alright. I'm not going to do the color changing glitch this time. Because they showed it last time, and you know, it's cute. All my missiles, so alright, now we can just speed through the rest of the game because we have everything we need. Now I do need to pick up a few missiles, but those are pretty easy to pick up in Ridley's hideout. Here. Here. Nice. We're already almost where we need to be. At this point, I'm really only going to stop if they drop a missile. I always wondered why those little mini steps don't show up anywhere else in the game other than this room. But, you know, I vaguely remembered that it was hard to find them in the level generator, because I would have put them in just random places if I could have. little bit of slowdown. Also, not the optimal way of going through that room. Just saying. There we go. Fall straight down here. Alright. And again, we got the normal color for this room. Because I didn't skip the palette room. Ridley should be super easy. Ah, that's new. Because I have the Varia and an extra energy tank just by going in the room. So I remember doing something kind of silly to Kraid, so I'm looking forward to showing that off. So that's a thing. You'll see why that's there in a couple minutes. I could get a missile up there, but I really don't need it. I've got 6. 6 is plenty. It's hard when you don't have the pillars to use as a... Oh, I even made this room easier. Except I can't use the shortcut now, because I put those pillars in the way. That's funny. So now I gotta find my way out of my own little trap room. There we go. Okay. And you can actually play this room as normal without going through the secret tunnel. So I made this room a little harder, I think. Not even sure where the hole actually is now. No, it's just the last 2, okay. Oops. I went the wrong way. It's as if like the game's different or something. Just gonna go back over here. Yeah, because you're supposed to go in this room, then fall down again. And you'll be right next to Ridley. Doo-doo-doo. I totally know what I'm doing. Ignore the wizard behind the curtain. Alright, so we're back to 10 missiles and full energy. Let's see if we can get this to work. Oh, I made this room easier too. Alright, now this room... I normally pick up an extra missile if I can make the jump. Oh, that's interesting. I removed the platform, so missiles can float. So I'll have plenty of missiles to deal with things. And I can fall down this hole. I don't know if I did anything to this room. This is typically the hardest room in the game if you're trying to not take a point of damage and go fast. Because when I was trying to play through the game with one hit from anything kills you, this was my sticking point. I would always mess up at some point in this room. Now naturally this time I didn't mess up at all, just to disprove my theory. Alright, and Ridley is actually lower on the screen. Typically are going to be fighting him the same way. right next to him. There we go. Again, you have so much life by this point in the game. That it's really hard to lose against this guy. There we go. I did make this door a little harder to open, though. Not sure why I'm bothering, because there's plenty of energy tanks on the way home. But, you know, gotta go fast, right? Or, well, not really. We're not actually going fast. But you know what I mean. I picked up a good chunk of missiles in here, so we're good. Alright. So that's Ridley's room.